guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to share with you guys my weaning process and how I weaned my baby from breastfeeding in a very simple and stress-free way. Now, not everything works for everyone, so please don't think I'm saying this is going to fit everybody. I'm just sharing my experience for anyone out there who might be weaning their baby and want it to be less stressful and less tears. Before we get into it though, be sure to head down below into the description. You can follow my Instagram and my TikTok. Both are at Becca Halm. I'm over there on a more daily basis, so you can catch up with me over there, of course, more often than here on YouTube. But be sure to subscribe to my channel quickly and we'll get into this video. Quick disclaimer, I actually am still breastfeeding, but we have weaned for the most part. We still nurse every morning when Hayes gets up. He gets in bed and nurses, and then we nurse before bed. So twice a day, which is literally perfect. It is like the dream. It is amazing. I loved breastfeeding. I did, don't get me wrong. We exclusively breastfed for 6 months and still breastfed a lot until recently, but twice a day? This is amazing. It is amazing. I love it. It is freedom, still having the breastfeeding relationship, but it is so nice. All right, starting out though, we started the weaning process at 6 months old, and it was probably closer to 7 months. It was probably like 6.5 to 7. So the easiest thing was we started solids. We started solids right at 6 months, and he loved them from the beginning, so it was very easy to do that. But that is a big part that helps so quickly with weaning, is starting solids for your baby. Now, when they're first starting around 6 months, you're only going to do 1 meal a day for a while. It takes a while to build up to having 3 meals a day. He has 3 meals a day now, and he's almost 11 months old, so and he'll be over 11 months when this video goes up, but whatever. But so you'll start out with 1 meal a day of solids, and that is the first time you can probably replace breastfeeding, is that first meal of solids. I should mention, I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm just sharing my experience. It worked for me. I'm not saying it's gonna work for anyone else. Just don't take me as a medical personnel or anything like that. But anyways, we started giving him breakfast. That was the first thing. So he would still get up, nurse in bed before breakfast, which he still obviously does. And then when we would get up for the day, he would have breakfast. And that would be purees for a while. Now it's like he gets waffles and fruit, stuff like that. But that was the very first like nursing session we were able to cut out, would be when he would have those solids. After that, what became important as well was introducing bottles. My child would not take a bottle until probably 7 months old, maybe 6 months, but it might have been 7. It was not easy to get him to take a bottle, but we started having like my mom offer it. And then eventually at home he would take a bottle from me as well. So one area where, you know, he wasn't ready to start having too much solids yet, I introduced the bottle, and that was when I was able to put in some pumped milk into the bottle and replace a breastfeeding session with a bottle as well. I did this not for any of the sleeping times yet. So he takes 2 naps a day, and he would still be breastfed for both of those. He would have this bottle in kind of like the middle of the daytime when he would be awake for breastfeeding, and I found that it was easier during those like wake times where he was awake eating than like trying to give him a bottle to go to sleep or something, because he connected the boob with going to sleep. So starting out, one was replaced with his breakfast, another was, you know, his lunch, and that was a bottle. Over time, we also started using some like distraction. So if he would, he's a kid that just would want to pop on the boob all day long. So I would try to start giving him distractions, whether it was a toy or maybe a couple puppies as a snack, just, or even if we were with other people, like with my mom or grandmother, they would be able to hang out with him. So one big thing is definitely distracting when they want it, especially if you know they're not hungry, because mom would just want it to want it. So we would start kind of like distracting him with a snack or something else. That way he would go longer periods without wanting to nurse, and that would make it easier to cut out a session when I wanted to, was because he was already going from only like 45 minutes between a session to being able to go to like an hour and a half between a session. So it was already naturally kind of cutting out a couple of breastfeeding sessions. When that started to work really well, it became really easy because we were able to replace more breastfeeding sessions with food. As he got older, he started having breakfast, and then he would have dinner, and then eventually he would have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that became very easy. And then with the bottles, I actually was able to start giving him a bottle for nap, because eventually he wouldn't go down for his nap after breastfeeding. He would like fall asleep on the boob and then be awake if I put him down. So I actually started giving him a bottle to go to sleep, and it worked really, really well. Now, if he was distressed, I would still nurse him. I think that's an important part to mention, is that if he needs it for comfort or anything like that, I would still give it to him. But I think the biggest thing in trying to wean your child is doing it very slowly, because it would help him react really, really well that we did it slow. I only cut out about 1 nursing session per week. So let's say we nurse like probably 7 times a day at least. I would only cut out 1 session for a week. So when he started having his solids at breakfast, we went from 7 to 6, and we would stick to that, and I would go for at least a week of that. And then the next week I would introduce that 1 bottle at lunchtime. So he would have breastfeeding, and then he would have his regular breakfast, and then probably breastfeed again, and then he would have that bottle and then breastfeed the rest of the day, and that would be 6 a day. And then another week later he was used to that, so I'd be able to replace that with something else, whether it was more solids or a bottle or a snack or whatever it might have been. I would just choose the easiest sessions that he was least attached to get rid of, and then eventually it got really easy because we would get down to 3 a day, where he would nurse when he woke up in the morning, he would nurse before 1 nap, and he would nurse before bed. And then that middle of the day one really easily just cut out completely on his own once he started having like lunch and snacks, and he was awake and wanted to play, and he would get distracted so easily that he would get on the boob for lunch, and then he would just pop off every 2 minutes to look around the room. So very naturally that cut out as well. Now he is sticking on to the wake up one probably the most. I think that the bedtime one he really doesn't need. I do that more because I want to do it. The wake up in the morning one is probably the only one that he's still attached to, and I do think that we could drop both of those very quickly if we wanted to. I'm fine with them as long as he wants to have them, but we could drop that tomorrow and he'd be fine with it, because we did such a slow process that it never upset him in any way, and he loves some boob, I will tell you all that. Alright, so I hope that helped you guys a little bit. If you're someone who's looking to start the weaning process or partially wean or whatever it might be, it worked for us. So I hope that it helps maybe figure out something that could work for you guys as well. If you enjoyed this video though, please give it a thumbs up and let me know below what other videos you want to see. Head over to my Instagram and TikTok at Becca Halm. They're down below, and chat with me over there. But other than that, that'll be it for this video, and I will see you guys next time.